Hello class 9. Today I want to teach you the remaining part, that is the last part of history, of the chapter 4, impact of Jainism and Buddhism in Indian society. Now, this is the fourth part. First part, second, third I already completed. Fourth part. Causes for the decline of Buddhism. Number 1, revival of Brahmanical Hinduism. We know that in the Gupta age there was the strong Brahmans culture, the spirit of the Brahmans. Now this age, the revival of the Brahmanical Hinduism is one of again the Brahmans arose in the power of the Brahmans arose in the society. So this is one of the causes for the decline of Buddhism. Loss of royal patronage. The royal patronage means the emperor like Ashoka and other Kanishka, other king, they favored the religion Buddhism and Jainism, and due to that reason the Buddhism spread, and loss of the royal patronage was one of the reasons for the causes of the decline of Buddhism. Now, split in Buddhism. In the Buddhism, there are two sects, Hinayana and Mahayana. Due to this split, that is this division, this is also one of the causes for the decline of Buddhism. Corruption in the Buddhist Sangha. Buddhist Sangha is the place where the Buddhist monks, the bhikkhunis used to stay. Now the corruption in the Buddhist Sangha is one of the reasons for the fall of the Buddhism. Adoption of Sanskrit. Now we know that during the Vedic age, language Sanskrit used to prevail in the society, and all the people learned Sanskrit is the language of the learned people. Now adoption of Sanskrit, that is the due to the this adoption of the Sanskrit language, what happened? This adoption of the Sanskrit language, this is one of the causes for the decline of Buddhism. The Turkish invasion, the Turks invaded India. This is one of the reasons for the fall of the Buddhism. Impact of Buddhism on Indian culture and society. Impact on religion, impact on society, principle of Ahimsa. Now, principle of Ahimsa. Now, this is one of the impact. In India, we know Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, they emphasized the non-violence, and these non-violence actually preached by Buddha. Now, impact on society, principle of Ahimsa. 2. Impact on literature and education. This impact on education and literature. Literature plays very important role during the Buddhist time, and this education, the greatest contribution of Buddha was his rich variety of religious literature in the language of the people. Universities developed. What are these? Nalanda, Taxila, etc. Now, impact on art and architecture. Sachi Stupa covered with the sculpture figures, cave temples, Gandhara art, the stupas and pillars bear testimonies of the Buddhist skill in the field of architecture. Now, and again I want to mention that Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, they were the they exhibited the principles of Ahimsa. Now, with the growth of Buddhism and Jainism, remarkable progress in the field of architecture. Now, then what happened? The rock-cut architecture in India, Jachaita in Pune and Maharashtra, these are all the examples of the Buddhist architecture. Viharas at Udaygiri, these are all the examples of architecture. Jainism and Buddhism, comparative and similarity and comparative. Comparison means some similar points and some contrast point. Now, both against rituals of Vedic religion, both the religion against the rituals of Vedic religion. God, rituals and Vedas had no place in both the religions. Now both Buddhism and Jainism, they did not believe in the existence of God. Non-violence was an indispensable part of their creed. Non-violence, ahimsa. Number 4, nirvana or moksha, one's ultimate aim in life. Nirvana or moksha. Both had organized monasteries for monks and nuns to live. For monks and nuns, they used to live in the monasteries. Now contrast. These are all the similarities which I just discussed. Now the contrast. Jainism believed it to severe asceticism, that is strict path, and Buddhism advocated Jainism strict path and Buddhism middle path. Jainism carried ahimsa to extreme path. And that is everything is extreme in Jainism. Buddhism to middle path. Buddhism a world religion. Jainism not confined. Jainism is confined to local group. Jainism is confined to local place. Now, sources of history, art and architecture. This is sources of history is important questions. Now my students, I am discussing the question answer. All of you prepare to write it. For number 1, discuss the important sources of history. Now what will be the answer? Sources of history, all my students. Sources of history will be, that is in every chapter I told you the sources of history is very important. Here literary sources and the architecture sources. All of you look at the book. This the period from about 600 BC was one of the social and religious unrest in the history of India. Vedic tradition gradually lost its power. People started to think about the ills and sorrows of life. Two sects gradually emerged, Buddhism and Jainism. Now, Buddhist sacred literature, the Jataka tales, the Tripitakas, the Abhidharma, Pitaka, then 12 Angas, all these belong to the literary sources. Then archaeological sources, the Sarnath pillar, the Gandhara art, all belong to the archaeological sources. These are also important sources of history. Now this is one important question of your history. Then Great Renunciation, the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment. Look at your book, all of you. What is the Enlightenment? Page B38. Gautama Buddha visited many places and met many brahmanas and religious teachers but did not get any answer. One day he took a morsel of food to keep himself alive. Because of such an action, his companions deserted him. He gave up penances. He sat under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya and remained in meditation till he attained spiritual knowledge. Ultimately, the true light dawned to him and he came to be known as the Buddha or the Enlightened One. Now, the Great Renunciation, all of you. Gautama's mind was set on finding a solution to the problems of human suffering and death. At the age of 29, he broke all the worldly life and left his palace as an ascetic in search of truth. This event came to be known as the Great Renunciation. Now, what are the 4 noble truths? 4 noble truths, all of you look at their book. 4 noble truths, very important. 4 noble truth and 8-fold path. This is one of the important questions. Now, all of you look at the book. I am discussing. The Four Noble Truths, teachings of Lord Buddha and the main doctrine of Buddhism. The foundation of the Buddha's doctrine was based on noble truth, which he emphasized in his teachings. Now, number one, the Four Noble Truths are: the world is full of sorrows and sufferings. Number two, the main cause of suffering is man's desire. Number three, suffering can be removed by getting rid of desires, as that is renunciation. Next, one can overcome desire by following the Eightfold Path. By following the Eightfold Path. What are the Eightfold Path? Eightfold Path, number one, right faith. Number two, right aspiration. Third, right action. Then right living. Then right speech, right effort, right meditation, and right contemplation. The Eightfold Path is the middle path, avoiding two extremes. Then karma theory. Buddha believed in karma. Whatever a man sows, he reaps. Then nirvana. Man's ultimate aim in life is to attain nirvana, the final bliss which is free from desire and sorrows. Number four, existence of God. Buddha was silent on the existence of God. 5. Ahimsa. One of the prominent teachings of Buddha was Ahimsa. Very important teachings. It influenced Indian religion, Indian society, Indian culture. Then no faith in Buddhism. The main emphasis is no faith in caste system. Then emphasize on character. Great stress on the development of character and spread and growth. And then next question, what are the reasons for the spread and growth of Buddhism? All of you write it down. What are the reasons for the spread and growth of Buddhism? Right. Simple teachings of Buddha. Number two, simple language. Number three, the two categories. One, upasakas or lay disciples. Next, bhikkhuks or monks who became ascetics after renouncing the world. Next, attack on the institution of caste. Then, leadership of Buddha. These are the main reasons for the growth of Buddhism. Buddhism originated in India but spread the whole world so easily. Now, the Buddhist Sangha, Buddha founded the Buddhist Sangha to spread his teachings far and wide. Male members known as bhikkhuks and female members known as bhikkhunis. They led a disciplined, organized life, renouncing all the pleasures of world and engaged in preaching the doctrine of Buddha. Next, royal patronage. Great rulers like Ashoka, Kanishka and Harsha embraced Buddha. Next, Buddhist Council. The Buddhist Council held discussion in various important religious issues which are connected with Buddhism. Now, about the Buddhist universities, very important Buddhist universities. Question may come, what are the important Buddhist universities during the 6th century BC? The universities of Nalanda, Taxila and Gaya became important centers of Buddhist education. These universities attracted students from even foreign countries. Then what are the two sects of Buddhism? Mahayana and the Hinayana Buddhism. Buddhism divided into two sects, Hinayana, the original Buddhism, that is lesser vehicle, and Mahayana, the great vehicle, that is the reformed Buddhism, known as Mahayana Buddhism. Now, Mahayana Buddhism believed that, what is Mahayana Buddhism? Mahayana Buddhism believed that Buddha was the incarnation of God, like Rama and Krishna, that is messenger of Rama and Krishna. They accepted the Hindu theory of incarnation and believed that Buddha was an incarnation of Buddha was the incarnation of Rama and Krishna who came for the salvation of mankind. Now, Hinayana Buddhism. The Hinayana belonged to original sect looking upon Buddha as their guide and following his simple teachings. They did not look at Buddha as an incarnation of God or as a savior. Now, causes for the decline of Buddhism. If the question comes, what are the causes for the decline of Buddhism? Number one, revival of Brahmanical Hinduism. Number two, loss of royal patronage. Number three, split in Buddhism. Number four, corruption in the Buddhist Sangha. Number five, adoption of Sanskrit. Later, the Buddhist scripture written in Sanskrit, and then the Turkish invasion. These are the causes for the decline of Buddhism. Next question. Impact of Buddhism on Indian culture. Impact of Buddhism on Indian culture and society. Impact on religion. Impact on society. That is principle of ahimsa. Impact on literature and arts. The greatest contribution of Buddhism was its rich variety of religious literature in the language of the people. Universities the Buddhists developed, that are the Nalanda and Taxila. Importance of Buddhism on art and architecture. What are the importance? What we experience in the art and architecture. Now, impact on art and architecture. Sachi Stupa covered with sculptured figures, cave temples and Gandhara art. The numerous stupas and pillars of Taxila made during the Buddhist time, it exhibited in the field of architecture. Now, very important, what is nirvana? Then nirvana, then enlightenment, then renunciation. The great renunciation we know. Gautam's mind was set in finding a solution to the problem of human suffering and death. At the age of 29, he broke all the worldly life and left his palace as an ascetic in search of truth. This even came to be known as Great Renunciation. Now, five vows I already discussed. Then Mahavira Jainism, very important. Life of Gautama Buddha, important, most important, the sight of the foresight, very important. The sight of an old man, a sick man, and a dead body made him sick seriously of the futility of worldly pleasures. And as such, these four sights were called the four great sights in Buddhist life. And this changed his mind forever. Okay. Now, then all of my students, nirvana, the final bliss which is free from desire and sorrows, is known as the nirvana. Then after enlightenment, the Buddha proceeded to the deer park near Sarnath, where he gave his first spiritual sermon. Very important. What is the spiritual sermon? For the next 45 years, he moved from place to place, preaching his simple message to rich and poor alike, and many accepted his teachings. He attained nirvana at Kushinagara in 486 BC at the age of 80. Okay, my students, these are all the important questions. Thank you very much. Next day, another chapter. Okay.